I knew something was off about Diddy. Did you guys ever suspect it? Anyways, let's jump into some strange things about P. Diddy that everyone kept ignoring.
You know, it was a big problem.
Diddy seems to have become averse to the thought of walking down the aisle, even though he is often boasting about his success with women. Despite having been in long-term relationships in the past, he has frequently avoided talking about marriage, attributing his doubts about formal marriages to a difficult background.
We don't talk about things that are nonsense.
Just didn't want to do it, he stated in a 2022 Revolt TV interview with Young Miami. Just didn't want to, never had a desire to get married. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, my father lost his life when I was very young, when I was 2. And my mother, she just never wanted to have men around. Years before, on Watch What Happens Live, he made no secret of his dislike for lifelong commitments, citing the enormous responsibility and potential for legal troubles as turnoffs. I think you have to be ready for it.
No, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that.
There's somebody else's heart involved, and that's a lot of responsibility. And I don't want to be going to courts and having somebody be interfere in my relationship. So I'd rather just do the Goldie Hawn, he said, referencing Hawn's famously unmarried but committed relationship with Kurt Russell. Diddy, on the other hand, just likes a different kind of agreement. He's not entirely against formalizing relationships. I will give a contract, he declared. I will commit to a contract, a love contract. Diddy may avoid the institution of marriage altogether, but he is welcoming parenthood into his life. He says that his children are his pride and delight, and he has no difficulty fathering children with several different women. There are currently 7 kids who refer to Diddy as daddy. He had 4 children with his late ex, Kim Porter, a daughter with his friend, Sarah Chapman, a son with fashion designer Misa Hilton, and another daughter with Dana Tran.
Being able to see my kids and give them that comfort of them seeing me and everything's all right, it's a beautiful thing.
This is when things start to get intriguing or dubious depending on your perspective. In 2018, during an interview on The Breakfast Club, Diddy stated that he aspired to have almost 12 children, challenging Nick Cannon in that regard. My goal is to reach 10. It's a race, he teased, adding that at the time, all he wanted was a child with Cassie, his then girlfriend, who subsequently accused him of SA. Whatever is supposed to happen in the future is going to happen, but that's something that I want, he stated. I would only have it with my girl, of course. Diddy didn't reveal the birth of Love Sean Combs, his 7th kid, until the very end of 2022. I'm so blessed to welcome my baby girl, Love Sean Combs, to the world. He wrote in a tweet, Mama Combs, Quincy, Justin, Christian, Chance, Delilah, Jesse, and myself all love you so much. God is the greatest. Though there have been public festivities, information on his relationship with his youngest child's mother is still murky. The label Bad Boy Records, which Diddy launched in 1993 and has drawn artists like Notorious B.I.G., Faith Evans, and Maze, is the hub of his empire. Although Diddy frequently presents himself as a coach who develops potential, not every player on his roster would concur, Maze being a prominent example.
You can't understand, we be Waikiki.
At a 2020 pre-Grammys dinner, Diddy accepted an Industry Icons Award and said black music has never been respected by the Grammys. This sparked the start of their enmity. Maze took advantage of the occasion to criticize Diddy for his alleged hypocrisy, exposing in a since-deleted Instagram post that Diddy has a track record of taking advantage of his artists and locking them into unfavorable contracts. Your past business practices knowingly has continued purposely starved your artist and been extremely unfair to the very same artist that helped you obtain that Icon Award on the iconic Bad Boy label, he told Wrap Up, adding that he had been paid just peanuts. Not one to back down, Maze disclosed in another deleted post that the witnesses to these dubious deals, including Biggie, Craig Mack, and Black Rob, were no longer with us to support his accusations. Diddy responded by saying that Maze owed him $3 million, and everybody else you made sign the paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about, he declared. I'm the only one with guts. Finally, in 2023, Maze and Diddy came to an agreement that gave Maze the ability to regain his publication rights. That year, Diddy gave back the music rights to his musicians in an effort to lead by example, or maybe as a kind of atonement. To quote him, "It's just doing the right thing. It's not a publicity stunt or anything like that." Cassie just told her side of the story when it comes to P. Diddy. Stay tuned.
Cassie is finally speaking out following her allegations against Sean Diddy Combs.
After a video of the rapper being truly heinous to Cassie Ventura in a hotel in 2016 was recently leaked, Sean Diddy Combs' ex-girlfriend made an emotional statement thanking everyone who came out to offer their love and support. The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now, but this is only the beginning. The singer wrote in a post on Instagram, "DV is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today, but I will always be recovering from my past." CNN released a video of Ventura kicking and throwing the woman to the ground, prompting him to make the comment. After that, Diddy apologized, calling his behavior in the video inexcusable and expressing his disgust at what he had done.
I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now.
The incident seemed to support allegations of violence made by Ventura in a lawsuit that was settled last year, allegations that Diddy had previously refuted. Ventura expressed her gratitude to everyone who took the time to take this matter seriously in a message. "My only ask is that everyone open your heart to believing victims the first time. It takes a lot of heart to tell the truth out of a situation that you were powerless in." She also gave others words of encouragement. "I offer my hand to those that are still living in fear," Ventura wrote. "Reach out to your people. Don't cut them off. No one should carry this weight alone. This healing journey is never ending, but this support means everything to me. Thank you. Love always, Cassie."
I think everybody's entitled to, having that moment, I guess.
Ventura started dating personal trainer Alex Fine in 2018, the year her relationship with Diddy ended. The two were married in 2019. In response to her statement, Fine commented, "Love you so much," and said, "She is a perfect example for our daughters." More claims of SA, harassment, and other misdeeds against Diddy surfaced after Ventura filed her case. Late last year, 3 more women accused him of SH.
It was a big problem.
In February, producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a second lawsuit, alleging Diddy had harassed and groped him for a full year. Model Crystal McKinney recently filed a second lawsuit against Diddy, alleging that in 2003 he had given her an induced influence and took her. In addition, a federal inquiry on him is purportedly partially concerned with HT. Diddy's attempt at atonement has been questioned by Ventura's legal team ever since he aired his apologetic video over the videotape of the hotel incident. Meredith Firetog, Ventura's lawyer, stated in a statement that Combs' most recent statement is more about himself than the many people he has hurt. She added that Diddy was only compelled to apologize once his repeated denials were proven false shows his pathetic desperation, and no one will be swayed by his disingenuous words. And most recently, rapper 50 Cent has already sold Netflix a documentary in which he charges rival Sean Diddy Combs of multiple SAs. The musician, whose real name is Curtis Jackson, began endorsing the show following Combs' accusation of A and SA by his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura. Recently marked 50 Cent's confirmation that he had successfully negotiated a massive bidding war with other networks to sell the series to the big streaming service. Netflix wins the bidding war, but if more victims keep coming out, I'm gonna need more episodes, the rapper said in an Instagram post. Produced by 50 Cent's G-Unit Film and Television Studios, the series is expected to center on accusations made by singer Ventura and several other women. Combs has refuted every accusation leveled against him. When video of Combs, better known by his stage name P. Diddy, of him dragging, punching, and kicking Ventura in a hotel hallway as she attempted to depart with 2 bags surfaced in 2016, Combs issued an apology.
I'm leaving this poor kid alone. Just do your stuff.
Awkward moments happen to the best of us. You can even ask Hayden Panettiere. Well, maybe you shouldn't. Hayden Panettiere is not okay after this awkward interview. During an interview with People magazine for their cover story, Hayden Panettiere recently spoke up about dealing with her brother's passing and other sensitive subjects.
He was my only sibling, and he was my younger sibling, and it was my job to protect him.
After Hayden's interview was recently shared on social media, admirers expressed their concern and criticism. A lot of people are requesting that the videos be removed, and some are inquiring as to why the interview wasn't called off. Hayden could be seen slurring her words and having trouble pronouncing them clearly clearly in a video from the sit-down that people shared on Instagram on September 18th. Her eyes also seemed to be glassy. Fans were also alarmed by 2 films that were uploaded on the publication's social media accounts. In one, Panettiere discussed the passing of her brother Jansen, who suffered from an enlarged heart and passed in February 2023.
When I lost him, I felt like I lost half of my soul.
The other video of Panettiere gushing over her 9-year-old mini-me daughter Kaya set off the uproar. Poor Hayden, obviously not sober. Do better, people. One user commented under the post, joining several other remarks that called out the publication for releasing the interview in the first place. Another user added that Panettiere's interview reminded them of Anna Nicole Smith, who passed away in 2007.
The surprise death, Anna Nicole Smith, just 39 years old.
There should be a law against doing interviews and also posting videos of a public figure obviously under the influence of something or just not doing well. Shame. Reminds me of Anna Nicole. One of the primary complaints made by fans was that People magazine ought to have either declined to publish Panettiere's interview or rescheduled it completely as soon as Hayden showed up and it became apparent that she wasn't acting quite like herself.
You wish you'd never realize.
In July 2022, Hayden talked to the media about her issues with her habits. She has been vocal about these things before. When Panettiere was just 15 years old, a member of her staff started bringing her happy consumables before she would walk the red carpet. They were to make me peppy during interviews, she stated. I had no idea that this was not an appropriate thing or what door that would open for me when it came to my habits. My saving grace is that I couldn't be messy while on set and working, she continued. But things kept getting out of control off set, and as I got older, the stuff became something I almost couldn't live without. I was on top of the world and I ruined it, Hayden said in an issue of People. She spent years battling her habits. I'd think I hit rock bottom, but then there's that trap door that opens. Panettiere, who is divorced from Vladimir Klitschko and has a daughter together, eventually made the decision to seek assistance. I put a lot of work into myself and I had to be willing to be incredibly honest, says Hayden, who underwent both therapy and inpatient treatment. She's back on set now, resuming her role as the beloved Kirby Reed in the upcoming Scream movie, and she's giving her all to Hoplon International, the charity she created recently with the goal of raising money for Ukraine. This hasn't been easy and there were a lot of ups and downs, says Panettiere of her journey to sobriety and happiness, but I don't regret even the ugliest things that have happened to me. I feel incredibly accomplished and I feel like I have a second chance now. 2014 saw Panettiere in the lead role of Nashville as the unstable country music artist Juliette Barnes. Hayden's actual pregnancy was included in the program, and it quickly became apparent that the inner demons of her character reflected those of Hayden. Hayden and Klitschko, who started dating in 2009, had a falling out when Hayden would sneak away to drink. He didn't want to be around me, she recalls. I didn't want to be around me. But with the consumables and beverages, I was doing anything to make me feel happy for a moment. Then I'd feel worse than I did before. I was in a cycle of self-destruction. After spending 8 months in treatment, Panettiere claims that her time there had given her the means to get over the hump of her bad behavior. The idea holds true, even though it's unclear if Panettiere was acting oddly in her most recent interview with People. Granted, the magazine had a task at hand, but its subject is a human being, and she ought to be treated as such. In addition, Panettiere's team was also let down by others. Her health should have been the top priority, and someone should have made the initiative to reschedule on her behalf. We've witnessed celebrities publicly battle with their habits far too frequently, only for those same behaviors to prove their undoing in the public glare. Erica Basildua Holland acknowledged in a TikTok video that People magazine made a journalistic error. She described herself as shocked and upset that it had been uploaded at all. As a journalist, I want to give you some context, not excuses, on why this might have happened. Hayden is this month's cover story, and that's a big deal, because the cover story is usually paid when it comes to People magazine. Holland said, "These contracts aren't just little agreements. They can be very lucrative and they extend beyond the print magazine." Holland continued by describing how the boundaries then became hazy when Panettiere consented to participate in the interview and discuss her experiences with sorrow and other facets of her life. People magazine concurred, raising the question of whether the journalist has a duty to safeguard her in the event that she shows up unwell, or if this is a contractual obligation. Since the video was posted, Panettière's team told Page Six, speaking about her brother for the first time was very emotional for her, and it had been a long and exhausting day for her. She was not under the influence. Holland concurred that the interview ought never to have been published. Nevertheless, morally speaking, I don't know what good it does for anybody involved. I do wonder if this will be something that they end up removing. Holland wondered. I know that as consumers of media, when we speak up, the larger news organizations, they listen. After fans expressed concern over an interview she recently did with People magazine that raised doubts about her mental health and sobriety, Hayden Panettière is providing her side of the story. It's unfathomable that I'm even in this position, but I feel forced to address it in a space where I won't be criticized for how fast or slow I speak. Hayden wrote via Instagram, I hadn't slept for 2 days prior to filming due to one of my dogs who was recovering from an emergency surgical procedure. She also addressed claims that during the interview she was intoxicated. Grief looks different on everyone. Whether or not I am on medication is none of anyone's business and is between me and my doctor. Hayden also stated in the interview that she was exhausted after an 8-hour studio session. My rep stopped the interview early as it became obvious that I was fading, especially as the subject matter became heavier. She wrote, adding that they were told that the magazine would edit it and that it would be a beautiful piece. She went on to say that the real issue here is the toxicity of social media and a news cycle that is driven by clickbait. After that, Panettière concluded the long article with a note for her fans. For those of you who have come to my defense amidst this chaos, I am so grateful. She added, like I've said before, I am a work in progress. We all are. Social media users who felt that People shouldn't have published the footage of their interview with Hayden were very critical of the publication after they saw it on Instagram. I'm shocked this is posted. It's uncomfortable and sad to watch. One person commented, with another calling it complete exploitation. PETA Murgatroyd even weighed in, adding, this interview should be removed ASAP. A source exclusively told Page Six, however, that Panettière fully cooperated with People's team during the interview and video, and that her team was on set for the duration of the shoot.
I've kept as much as I could of my private life to myself.
From 6 years old, all I wanted was to be famous.
Wendy Williams has made her major return to TV in a new documentary. The Lifetime docuseries is called Where's Wendy Williams?
Where is Wendy Williams? A 2-night documentary event.
At the beginning of the episode, Wendy sat in a large pink chair, wearing Chanel, with her hair and makeup touched to perfection. She really looked beautiful. As producers asked her questions, Wendy seemed to give honest answers. When asked about what she wanted, she revealed that she was enjoying her freedom from the Wendy Williams show. And then, unexpectedly, asked if she could pull her shirt down to expose her chest. The producer laughed and explained that she didn't have to do that, to which she responded with a middle finger. While discussing the effects of her lymphedema, she showed off how her feet looked. I can only feel 2%. Do you see what this looks like? And then began crying. There's no cure for this, there's no pill for this.
I miss my family.
When talking about Will, her manager, she described him as a very attractive best friend for life and began sobbing once more, begging him to greet her with a hug. Just after the first interview occurred, it was later revealed that Wendy went to a rehab facility in Malibu, California. A press release revealed that Wendy had unfortunately been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia and aphasia.
They say she's been diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia.
As Wendy's fans are aware, in the past she's been open with the public about her medical struggles with Graves' disease and lymphedema, as well as other significant challenges related to her health, her team stated. The decision to share this news was difficult and made after careful consideration, not only to advocate for understanding and compassion for Wendy, but to raise awareness about aphasia and frontotemporal dementia and support the thousands of others facing similar circumstances. Receiving a diagnosis has enabled Wendy to receive the medical care she requires. Wendy has said she hoped her diagnosis would shed more light on the disease and help raise awareness. In 2018, she revealed on the Wendy Williams Show that she was diagnosed with Graves' disease and hypothyroidism.
My hyperthyroid is attached also to Graves' disease.
In 2019, she checked into a rehab facility in Florida where sources claimed that she was presented with a devastating alcohol-related brain damage diagnosis. Wendy returned to her show in 2020 while taping from her home due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, At the time, she was rushed to the hospital and needed several blood transfusions, which resulted in more time off from TV. During the final season, she remained absent as she fled to Florida to spend time with her son Kevin for a few months. When back in New York, Wendy's health declined and she showed increasingly disturbed behavior. From bizarre interviews where she would show her bare feet, to claiming she got married when it was apparent she hadn't, and passing out drunk in the window of Louis Vuitton, Wendy's health and well-being seemed to be in a rapid decline. Wendy's health issues came to a head in May 2023. That was when, as the US Sun first exclusively reported at the time, Wendy was hospitalized just 2 weeks before she was supposed to appear at the Atlanta Women's Expo. Wendy first went into the hospital about 2 weeks ago. She was released briefly last weekend and she went right back in, an insider close to Wendy said. At one point, they did not think she was going to come out the other end okay or at all. It was during the last incident that Lifetime said they stopped filming with Wendy, according to People. The outlet reported that producers said they stopped filming after Wendy's manager, Will Selby, found her in her apartment with her eyes rolled to the back of her head. It's very sad how much Wendy has been through when it comes to her health. At the end of the day, if you're healthy, you're rich. Health issues can come for any of us. So it's important to be grateful for our health while we still have it. Here at FTD News, we're just wishing that Wendy can find some type of peace in spite of everything she's been through.
These celebrities have had unfortunate public meltdowns and displayed questionable behavior, leading people to believe that they completely lost their minds. Back in the year 2013, the actress Amanda Bynes was placed under conservatorship, with her mother having legal control of her following several run-ins with the police as well as involuntary psychiatric hold. However, her conservatorship was terminated back in March of 2022 after she provided evidence to the court that it was no longer required. Then in March of 2023, according to TMZ, Amanda Bynes was hospitalized and put on a psychiatric hold. And this was after she was found roaming without any clothes on in downtown Los Angeles. Amanda Bynes flagged down a car and told the driver that she was coming down from a psychotic episode before calling 911 herself. Then there was the actor Shia LaBeouf, whose career has been plagued with controversy and public meltdowns. In 2017, he was arrested in Georgia after swearing at someone who refused to give him a cigarette, and then when asked to leave, Shia LaBeouf became very aggressive and he attempted to flee from the police, but then he was caught in the lobby of a hotel where he continued to act very wildly and strangely.
I have rights, I'm an American. You got me in my hotel, arrested me in my hotel for doing what, sir?
A law enforcement video posted by TMZ revealed shocking statements made by Shia LaBeouf from the back of a police car, including making threats.
So we're not gonna have a conversation? No! Okay. You gonna put these off my arms or you be
From there, let's look at Charlie Sheen. Following his firing from the show 2.5 Men back in 2011, Charlie Sheen had a very public breakdown where he referred to himself as a warlock with tiger blood and Adonis DNA. He even lived with 2 adult industry stars who he referred to as goddesses and started the hashtag winning.
You judged me, you condemned me, you discarded me. Well, not anymore. Winning!
Charlie Sheen returned to television in 2012 with a lead role in FX's Anger Management, but the show was cancelled after only 2 seasons. Lindsay Lohan was someone who became a household name at a very young age, starting with her dual role in Disney's 1998 remake of The Parent Trap. She went on to star in more Disney films, including Mean Girls, and this was before her personal life began to overshadow her professional life. Lindsay has had numerous run-ins with the law, spending time in rehab and jail for drug and alcohol related offenses. In 2010, she spent 13 days in jail after violating probation and missing 7 alcohol education classes. She also attended court-ordered rehab from October 22, 2010 to January 3, 2011. But despite her troubled past, Lindsay Lohan maintains that she is a normal, nice person and says that she wants people to let go of her past.
You want to change now, why? Did you just get tired?
Tired.
Finally, there was Britney Spears. Britney Spears shocked the world on February 16th, 2007 by shaving her head in front of paparazzi cameras at a Tarzana hair salon. In the documentary Framing Britney Spears, Wesley Morris, the former photography director for Us Weekly, he commented that her actions were a way of saying she was giving up. The media had destroyed the person that she once was, and she was not going to be that person again. Wesley Morris also criticized society for only seeing a crazy person in the images of Britney instead of understanding the situation that she was in. But it didn't stop there. Following the incident of her head shaving, Britney Spears made headlines again when she attacked a paparazzo with an umbrella. This occurred after she and her cousin Ali Sims were relentlessly pursued by photographers while driving through a gas station.
Guys, please, guys, don't do this. No, oh God.
And on the day of the incident, Britney had driven to her ex-husband's Kevin Federline's house in hopes of seeing her son, but he didn't open the gate for her at all, and this added to her emotional stress.
J.Lo is taking none of the blame when it comes to her divorce. She is fully putting things on Ben because of his behavior. This is according to a source. What did he do exactly? Let's dive in. Ben Affleck's unpredictable behavior was reportedly a major factor in his divorce from Jennifer Lopez, according to a report by People.
Listen, you do have a right, okay? Don't do that. That's dangerous.
A source told the outlet Ben's often unpredictable and giant mood swings ultimately divided him and Jenny, leading her to file for divorce after 2 years of marriage.
For better or for worse, have followed my heart.
You could see the weird behavior and giant mood swings, the source told People, noting that his temperament would sometimes swing from being incredibly happy and warm, the best light that emanated from him, to the deepest, darkest behavior.
Happens that in this relationship right here, I'm the bull, you're the cow.
The truth is, there was a great deal of love, but also unfortunately what became clear were Ben's strange moods that he couldn't hide from the press as much as he tried to, the source continued.
We barely paid any attention to each other at all.
The insider went on to speculate that Ben was signaling a message to the press. Around the time of their separation date, which J.Lo specified in her filing as of April 26, 2024, the former couple was allegedly trying to work through their stuff. However, it was to no avail. Jenny officially filed for divorce on August 20th, 2024, the second anniversary of their Georgia wedding ceremony.
It was a part of me then that I had to put away.
Guys, not only is his behavior what's causing the divorce, apparently he had a woman on the side the entire time, which is why he's renting a whole entire home away from Jenny, according to the source.
Following her highly publicized breakup with Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez just shared an Instagram photo of herself having fun in the summer.
Jennifer Lopez writing in the caption, "Oh, it was a summer."
According to a source who spoke to Page 6, Lopez is looking to make over her image going forward. Jennifer Lopez shared a series of photos from her single Hampton summer on Instagram, featuring photos in bikinis and a close-up of a t-shirt bearing the poet R.H. Sin's word, "She's in bloom and unbothered, out of reach and at peace." We've heard that Lopez's close family and friends, which includes her longtime manager Benny Medina, are still steadfast. Regarding J.Lo's personal life going forward, however, a source stated she's open to listening to new voices of those around her.
This is where it brought me to.
Despite Jenny's marital troubles, Lopez and her former best friend, Leah Remini, made up. Remini just declared her own 21-year marriage to her husband, Angelo Pagan, to be over. Remini's worries about Ben caused the longtime friends to talk before Lopez married Affleck in 2022, according to a source. Remini cautioned Lopez to keep in mind the reason she ended their 2002 relationship, because he is selfish and not fully committed as a partner, our source claims. According to the insider, J.Lo was so mad she cut off all ties.
There's always a thing that you don't see coming.
And declined to invite Remini to their nuptials. Remini did not attend the couple's Georgia wedding, which was also attended by Jason Mewes, Matt Damon, and filmmaker Kevin Smith. At the time, TMZ was informed by sources that the ex-scientist was assisting her daughter Sophia, then 18, in preparing for college. In July, Lopez and Affleck eloped to Vegas for their first wedding ceremony. Remini has reportedly been eager to get back in touch with her old best friend because Lopez and Affleck were having trouble, and Divorce rumors were making headlines. We all know Ben and Jen's tumultuous relationship. They've been on and off, and for almost a year now, there have been breakup rumors surrounding them. Well, this may have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Stay with me while I paint you a picture. Beautiful people grinning and clinking glasses on a stunning summer's day in Italy with the craggy Amalfi Coast serving as the backdrop. The focal point of the gathering is an immaculately made up Jennifer Lopez. As she gets ready to take a sip of her drink, she gives the camera a knowing smile. This marked the introduction of JLo's own cocktail line, DeLola. Similar to other well-known Hollywood figures like Sarah Jessica Parker and George Clooney, JLo had aimed to create her own beverage line in order to increase the value of her business. Because her beverage business was one of the things that broke the camel's back, as a close friend of her husband Ben Affleck stated to DailyMail.com. It's also acknowledged that the beverage company was founded before they reconciled, and Ben knew about and encouraged the venture. They even go so far as to imply that in the midst of rumors that their marriage is finally over, it helped Ben, not Jen, decide to call it quits. Why did Ben find this prominent business venture so weird? Well, according to friends, he regarded his wife's sales of vodka and tequila odd because he was a recovering habitual drinker. After all, he had battled his habits for many years. He was reported to be confused when the label was originally introduced in the previous year. The fact that he thought her sole purpose for starting her drink brand was to make hard, cold cash just made him feel more conflicted. Since 2001, when he first sought help for his habitual drinking, Ben has gone to help several times. His marriage to Jennifer Garner ended as a result of his habits. Worse, JLo then embarked on a highly visible promotional tour, telling the press how much she enjoys drinking to relax and let loose. She even shared a photo of herself to promote the newest item in the line, showing herself relaxing on a sunbed while wearing a swimming outfit. Ben had to fight to get his life back after overcoming the drink. Ben's buddy said to the Mail. Knowing that he had lost everything, including his family's love, and that he would relapse, Jen made the decision to launch her own spritzer line in an attempt to get extra money. Jen and Ben, who featured in Oscar-winning films including Argo and Good Will Hunting, have reportedly already filed their divorce paperwork. They both understand that what they had earlier is no longer there. What appeared to be a moving story of rediscovered love for someone lost has come to a sad end. Before getting married, the couple separated in 2004 after becoming together in 2002 and getting engaged. Following his 2005 marriage to Jennifer Garner, Ben and Garner went on to have 3 kids before divorcing in 2015 and completing their legal separation 3 years later. JLo later wed singer-songwriter Marc Anthony, with whom she had twins which were 16 years old. 10 years passed during their marriage. After JLo's failed engagement to baseball player Alex Rodriguez in 2021, Ben and Jen reconciled, much to the pleasure of fans and the press around the globe. The next year, they were married in Las Vegas and had a second, more elaborate ceremony at Ben's plantation in Georgia, which was worth $9 million. The pair hasn't been spotted together months before the divorce became official though, with Ben declining to attend JLo's Bridgerton-themed 55th birthday celebration just recently. Rather, when the couple listed their $68 million Beverly Hills home for sale, he purchased a $20 million bachelor apartment in Los Angeles. But there were problems even last year in 2023. Ben saw JLo's April 2023 drink company launch, DeLola, as a warning indication that she preferred her profession over him. In 2024, their respective desires, his for a quiet existence and hers for unrestricted all-access exposure, came to a head. Even though he tried to give in to her demand for attention, their disparate views on their careers caused their marriage to falter. Ben was the one to pull the plug on their marriage here, a friend stated. He perceived this as picking right back up since Jennifer had led him to believe that she was the same person that she had been when they initially fell in love. Although he dislikes walking the red carpet with celebrities, he did it because she did. He could no longer handle her infatuation with fame. She had to be loved and captured on camera. He felt as though nothing remained sacred for him because she would reveal so much of herself to everyone. This was something she had to do. Her popularity had become an integral part of her identity. JLo's friends also report that she had altered her appearance and manner of dressing. She says that performing is more than just a profession to her and that she ultimately felt unable to give it up. Like with her previous 3 marriages, she made the decision to prioritize fame over him. In fact, it seemed like JLo was basing a large portion of her recent successful commercial production on their rekindled romance. Some even claimed that he was not exactly thrilled because her new album was all about him and he didn't even like her television program, This Is Me Now, A Love Story. That documentary, which featured Jen's account of her own road to love, was widely badly panned and failed to connect with viewers, costing millions of dollars. According to a person close to the pair, Ben was incensed. He didn't want her to do this at all. She asked him to invest in it and be involved in a project he was absolutely against. In the end, he was glad it flopped. It too destroyed their marriage. Ben didn't want their love story to be told, only she did. During a recent solo outing in Los Angeles, Jennifer Lopez was glowing. Jenny was beaming when she got to her friend's house barely a day after she and her estranged husband got back together. The couple, who are going through a rough divorce, appeared quite hostile during the heated reunion outside the hotel. But inside, according to insiders, things were different. According to Page 6, the Bennifer tale has taken yet another unexpected turn when they were spotted cuddling up to their kids at the Beverly Hills Hotel during breakfast. A source claimed that Ben and Jennifer were at the Polo Lounge at the Beverly Hills Hotel, holding hands and locking lips. In addition, the insider revealed that their children were there at the restaurant, but at a separate table. After breakfast, Jennifer Garner showed up to take her and Affleck's children, and the two ex-couples drove off together. When DailyMail.com asked the representatives to comment on the shocking PDA charges, they did not respond right away. J.Lo recently wore a backless dress with puffed sleeves made of a light linen material, and she clearly exuded happiness. She seemed to be wearing little to no makeup and put her hair up in a casual, unkempt updo for her outing. She crossed the yard and headed towards the front door, carrying a brown suede drawstring bag with a black leather crossbody strap. During the sunny day, she accessorized with a matching chain necklace and enormous gold hoop earrings. She wore oversized sunglasses. On her right hand, she also had a variety of rings and bangle bracelets on. The pair's been a part of some recent strange public activities before this encounter. J.Lo and Ben's closest buddy, Matt Damon, were spotted holding hands. Thereafter, Ben was observed pecking Matt Damon's wife Luciana on the cheek. J.Lo and Matt Damon were seen having a lengthy talk at the Unstoppable premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 6, 2024. It was reported that they had a serious 20-minute exchange during which they kept their heads close together. Following their breakup, reports indicate that Lopez was keen to talk to Damon about her divorced husband, but insiders say Matt had no interest in the subject. Any attempts by J.Lo to talk about Ben at the premiere was shut down by Matt Damon. An insider exclusively told DailyMail.com. It was her timing that was so awkward because she would have known that pulling Matt aside during the event to have an intimate talk was going to get picked up and go viral. The source continued, her whole hand on his hand was a nice touch, but he was not having any of it. He informed her that while he was grateful for her involvement in the movie and pleased to hear that she was doing well, he was not there to discuss Ben in any way. Then on September 13th, Affleck was spotted gleefully welcoming Damon's wife to his Los Angeles office. Affleck, wearing a navy suit, gave Luciana a quick peck on the side of the head. Ben and Matt have been pals for over 40 years. With the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay for Good Will Hunting, they made a huge splash in 1997. Affleck produced the sports drama Unstoppable, which tells the story of Anthony Robles, a man born without a leg who competes against the same institution that rejected him to become a champion wrestler. In the movie, Jennifer has a supporting part. Apparently, the darkness in Ben ultimately got to Jenny, despite her months-long effort to save the relationship, according to a person who spoke about it earlier in 2024. According to a person close to Jennifer Lopez, she loves him, she will always love him, that's the problem, Page 6 was informed. There is a darkness within Ben that no one else can resolve. Jen Garner couldn't fix it, all the success in the world couldn't fix it.
In the early months of Bennifer 2.0, Jennifer Lopez was known for keeping her man close to her heart with jewelry that spelled out his name, a Ben necklace and an Affleck nameplate. But now that the red carpet power couple's marriage is kaput, J.Lo's using her outfits to make a very different sort of statement.
I feel like there's a lot of life ahead of me.
J.Lo shared an end of August photo dump on Instagram that included, among other things, a close-up shot of a t-shirt printed with a telling quote from the poet R.H. Sin. She's in bloom and unbothered, out of reach, and at peace. I mean, if you have to wear a shirt to tell people you're unbothered, it kind of makes it seem like you might be a little bit bothered. Rightfully so though, divorce is no joke. J.Lo's second slide featured another pointed mantra: everything is unfolding in divine order. In another snap from the post, captioned, "Oh, it was a summer," J.Lo shows off a swimsuit selfie, showing off her famous behind in her go-to white one piece. Along with several family photos and puppy pics, she also included shots of herself enjoying an ice cream cone in Dior and sitting pretty in pink Gucci. While JLo didn't file for a divorce from Ben until August 20th, 2024, this was the exact date of their second wedding anniversary, by the way, she listed their date of separation as April 26th in the court documents. A source told Page Six that she did this to take a stand and send a message to Ben. And as evident by her latest Instagram upload, Jennifer spent most of her summer away from her ex Ben, even celebrating her 55th birthday in July with an opulent Bridgerton-themed bash that Ben had no interest in attending.
At the Toronto International Film Festival after party for her film Unstoppable, Jennifer Lopez and Matt Damon were observed engaging in a private conversation.
Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's best friend Matt Damon reportedly had a long, deep conversation.
Seated in a private corner of the party, Jennifer and Matt Damon had their heads pressed together and solemn looks on their faces. At one point, JLo put her hand on Matt's as he lowered his head as if in prayer, while JLo was rocking a vengeance dress reminiscent of a disco ball. For over 40 years, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck have been buddies. With the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay for Good Will Hunting, they made a huge splash in 1997.
And the Oscar goes to Ben Affleck and Matt Damon!
Affleck produces the sports drama Unstoppable, which tells the story of Anthony Robles, a man born without a leg, who competes against the same institution that rejected him to become a champion wrestler. In the movie, Jennifer has a supporting part. Instead of taking the chance of a highly public run-in with his ex on the Toronto red carpet, Affleck chose to stay at home. Good idea. Jennifer Lopez spent months attempting to save her relationship, but ultimately she was unable to see past the darkness in him, according to a source who spoke out earlier this summer.
It was all like nothing really special.
The issue is that she still loves him and will always love him. A person close to JLo told Page Six. Ben has a darkness to him that no other person can fix. Jen Garner couldn't fix it, all the success in the world couldn't fix it. The source continued, it was believed that JLo had hoped Ben would attend her 55th birthday party in the Hamptons in July, which had a Bridgerton theme, but he did not. She truly believed this was the greatest love story she'd ever known, and she was finally getting her chance at the fairy tale, the insider claimed.
It's such a meta story, right?
They continued saying she just really didn't stop to consider who the actual man was in the fairy tale. Following their 2022 wedding, Jennifer filed for divorce from the Argo filmmaker just recently. She gave this everything she had, her whole heart. She would have done anything to make this work, the outlet reported, adding, but she didn't want to believe it. She truly believed love could conquer all. She opened herself up to criticism, ridicule, and countless naysayers who told her this was a bad idea, that it was doomed, that there was a reason it didn't work out the first time, the source said. But she didn't want to believe it. She truly believed love would conquer all. Despite navigating the end of her fourth marriage, a source told DailyMail.com that Jennifer Lopez was happy to head to the Toronto Film Festival to promote this film because Unstoppable means a lot to her and she wants to support it. It is a true life story that is very inspirational and she is proud to be part of it. Acting in the movie was a high point for her. The insider added, and that the movie has been getting a lot of attention and Jennifer wants it to do the best it can. She is very professional and always works hard to give her movies the best opportunities. Looking through Blake Lively's past isn't shining such a great light on her. Let's look at some moments when Blake Lively's behavior went too far.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
Although you may have believed that the Gossip Girl co-stars were closest friends, the reality couldn't be further from the truth. Before delivering her statement at PallyFest in 2008, Blake Lively is shown in the rediscovered interview participating in a panel discussion with Leighton Meester and the other Gossip Girl cast members. She was disclosing the promises the producers of Gossip Girls had given her in order to guarantee her role as Serena on the show. She explained that in the books, Chuck Bass had a pet monkey, something she wasn't keen on.
It was another promise was no pet monkey.
So she admitted that she made them promise there would be no pet monkey. She continued, Chuck has a pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be a part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. She then pointed directly to Leighton and joked, well, I got a few of them. Leighton was offended by the remark, rightfully so, and Penn Badgley and Chase Crawford glanced at the ground awkwardly as the audience chuckled.
And then I got a few of them.
When none of her co-stars laughed, she exclaimed, come on, it was a joke, Lord have mercy.
Come on, it
was a joke.
Not a very good joke. A tweet went viral which showed an image of Blake Lively giving a quote to a journalist where she says a term widely accepted to be not very kind to those who've transitioned. Blake Lively talked to Elle magazine about her hopes for her future children and what they might wear while she was filming Gossip Girl. The quote says, "I hope to have a few girls one day. If not girls, they better be, because I have some amazing shoes and bags that need to be appreciated." Later in another video, she repeated the word. You read the gossip magazines and everybody is dating everyone. Everyone hates everyone. Everybody's had tons of plastic surgery and we're actually men, and it's just like you don't listen to the rumors.
What is the next 5 years of...
Goodness gracious. At the Boone Hall plantation in South Carolina, which housed 9 worker huts during the owning of people, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds tied the knot in 2012. In an Instagram post from 2020, Blake and Ryan expressed their regret about the plantation wedding. They wrote, "We're ashamed that in the past we've allowed ourselves to be uninformed about how deeply rooted systematic unrest is. We want to educate ourselves about other people's experiences and talk to our kids about everything, all of it, especially our own complicity." It turns out that Blake Lively has been making statements in interviews for years, in between all of the terrible It Ends With Us interviews. Journalist Kirsty Flaw shared the 8-year-old footage from when she interviewed Blake, admitting sitting down with Blake Lively and her co-star Parker Posey for Cafe Society in 2016 is the most uncomfortable interview situation I have ever experienced. Is it not okay to congratulate someone on their pregnancy or to ask another woman about costumes she's wearing in the film? When Kirsty tries to ask polite questions and make good comments to the two in the nightmare interview footage, Blake brusquely rejects her. She congratulates Blake Lively on her pregnancy, saying, "Congrats on your little bump." Then, even though Flaw isn't pregnant, Blake Lively responds to the journalist with the same remark. Just super passive aggressive. During an interview about It Ends With Us, the host asked Blake Lively how people might approach her regarding the film's delicate and deeply personal topics. He inquired, "Most of us who are lucky enough to run into a celebrity in public get only a few brief moments to maybe speak to you guys. But for people who see this movie, who relate to the topics of this movie on a deeply personal level, they're really going to want to talk to you. This movie is going to affect people and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, they come across you in public and they want to talk to you, what's the best way for them to talk to you about this?" She then joked about releasing her phone number to fans rather than taking the topic seriously, wondering why she wouldn't just location share at that point. In response, she said, "That's like asking for my address or my phone number, location share. I could just location share you and then we could just," before she started trailing off while laughing. She continues, "I'm a Virgo, so every time I'm like, are we talking logistics, emotionally?" Regarding her interview, one Reddit user shared their comments, writing, "What the heck is wrong with her? This is just willful ignorance and lack of self-awareness from a fully grown woman. Is she even aware of what the movie is promoting? Does she know what it's about? The cognitive dissonance is off the charts at this point." She reduced the valid question the interviewer asked her to a flippant joke. "I genuinely feel bad for her co-star, and you can clearly see he is uncomfortable, but since they've all thrown in their lot with Blake and her annoying husband, they are stuck with this mess. I honestly appreciate Justin for being the only person to address and tackle the DV themes on this press tour." You may remember a while ago that Meghan Harry's chief of staff quit pretty soon into their professional relationship. Well, the real reason as to why may have just come out. Let's check it out. So, Josh Kettler, Prince Harry's new chief of staff, unexpectedly resigned from his position after just 3 months in it, a move that has drawn a lot of attention. Experienced in public relations, Kettler became part of the Duke of Sussex's entourage just before Harry and Meghan Markle left for a 3-day trip to Nigeria.
To have our first visit to Nigeria.
His apparent amicable departure begs the question of what people who work closely with the Duke and Duchess encounter. Kettler was hired to guide Prince Harry through his next phase and was seen accompanying him to significant events, including a service at St. Paul's Cathedral marking the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games, a project close to Harry's heart. However, despite his experience and the high expectations, it seems that both sides quickly realized that the fit wasn't right. Sources indicate that Kettler's role was intended to be on a trial basis, and the mutual decision to part ways suggests that the arrangement simply didn't meet the needs or expectations of either party. Based in Santa Barbara near Harry and Meghan's Montecito home, Kettler brought with him an impressive background in communications. Before joining Harry's team, he had served as chief of staff and head of strategic partnerships at Cognition, a communication platform, and had also worked with Patagonia, an outdoor clothing brand known for its strong ethical stance. His departure adds to the growing list of staff who have left their employment since the couple moved to California, a trend that has not gone unnoticed. Former staffers have commented on the high turnover rate within the pair's team, noting that the positions are demanding. One ex-employee remarked, "During my time there, I never heard a current or former employee say they would take the job again if given the chance." This observation hints at the conditions of working in such an environment where the stakes are constantly elevated by the global presence the couple faces. Kettler's resignation comes at a particularly busy time for Harry and Meghan as they prepare for an upcoming tour of Colombia. The couple has been invited by Francia Marquez, Colombia's vice president and the first black woman to hold that office. This tour will mark their second official trip of 2024 following their visit to Nigeria. The visit to Colombia is not a state or royal trip given that the couple are no longer working royals, but it bears many of the hallmarks of an official royal visit. During their stay, Harry and Meghan will visit Bogota, the country's capital, as well as the coastal regions of Cartagena and Cali. The tour, which is being positioned as a royal-style visit, will involve engagements with leaders, youth, and women who represent the aspirations and voices of Colombians committed to progress. According to Vice President Marquez, the couple will have the opportunity to experience Colombia's rich cultural heritage and witness firsthand the nation's recent efforts. Marquez, who is a lawyer among many other things, expressed her excitement about the pair's visit, emphasizing that they will have the chance to meet with individuals who are in the forefront of driving positive change in Colombia. The tour will not only serve to highlight important social concepts, but will also allow Harry and Meghan to further cement their roles as global advocates for causes they are passionate about, such as environmental protection. The timing of the Colombia visit, coming on the heels of Kettler's departure, might raise questions about the stability of Harry and Meghan's team. However, it also underscores the couple's ongoing commitment to their work and their determination to continue making a global impact regardless of the challenges they face behind the scenes. The Colombia trip is expected to generate significant media attention, with many keen to see how the couple navigates their evolving roles on the world stage. As Harry and Meghan continue to carve out their own path independent of the British royal family, their journey is marked by both triumphs and setbacks. The departure of Josh Kettler, while a setback, is unlikely to deter them from pursuing their goals. Instead, it may serve as a reminder of the complexities of their unique positions and the high expectations placed on those who work alongside them. The resignation of Josh Kettler as Prince Harry's chief of staff after just 3 months reflect the difficulties inherent in working with high-profile figures like the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. As they prepare for their upcoming tour of Colombia, Harry and Meghan remain focused on their mission to make a difference on the global stage, undeterred by the challenges they face in assembling the right team to support their endeavors. Celebs put on airs of wealth, fame, and power, but sometimes it's all a front. Let's check out some celebs who are much poorer than you thought. Chris Tucker, an actor and comedian, was among the highest paid performers in the industry in the 2000s, but given his stated $5 million net worth, you might not have known. Tucker, who was already a rising star in the 1990s, shot to the top of the Hollywood A-list with the 1998 film Rush Hour. With the movie grossing over $200 million at the box office worldwide, Tucker was rewarded handsomely for its 2 sequels, Rush Hour 2 and Rush Hour 3, with $20 million and $25 million respectively, and top billing over Jackie Chan. After his Rush Hour days, Tucker largely left Hollywood despite his enormous celebrity and wealth, but his financial irregularities attracted a lot lot of attention from the authorities. Chris Tucker actually lost a lot of money, largely as a result of significant IRS tax issues. The net worth of reality television icons Heidi Montag and Spencer Pratt is lower than you may imagine. The two, who go by the loving nickname Spidey, rose to considerable prominence on MTV's The Hills, but they have had many ups and downs in their personal financial lives. Together with their pay from The Hills, endorsement deals, and personal appearances, Montag and Pratt's annual income during the height of their celebrity was $2 million. However, Montag and Pratt swiftly blew their riches, spending $1 million on Heidi's clothes alone, feeling the pressure to keep up with Hollywood A-listers. Given Lindsay Lohan's lengthy career in show business, it's astonishing that her celebrity net worth currently stands at just $2 million. She established herself as a true celebrity in the 1990s and 2000s, starring in Disney revivals such as The Parent Trap, Freaky Friday, and the beloved teen film Mean Girls. Lohan's earnings from her film career alone totaled $27 million. Even for a worldwide celebrity like Lindsay, her extravagant spending would put her financial future at risk. She spent thousands of dollars storing her collection of designer duds, racked up five-figure hotel bills at the renowned Chateau Marmont Hotel, and accrued years' worth of back taxes and unpaid legal bills. Dennis Rodman, a former NBA player, was renowned for his ability to grab rebounds on the floor. In addition to winning 5 NBA championships, he made $27 million just playing the game alone. In the 1990s, Rodman became well known due to his flamboyant off-court demeanor and fascinating romantic background. He even established himself in Hollywood, appearing in action films such as Simon Says and Double Team. However, Celebrity Net Worth claims that despite Rodman's remarkable career in sports and entertainment, his net worth is about $500,000 now. Even though Johnny Depp is estimated to have a $150 million net worth by Celebrity Net Worth, this amount is insignificant compared to his previous wealth. While he dazzled audiences as an eccentric Hollywood leading man in the 1990s, appearing in films such as Edward Scissorhands and Ed Wood, Depp actually struck gold in the entertainment industry in the 2000s. Joel Mandel, Depp's former business manager, testified that he earned an incredible $600 million between 1999 and 2016. Depp's income, though, was insufficient to support his spending patterns. Six-figure monthly costs were incurred for staff, private security, and a private jet, not to mention that he used to own a whole French village and had a $30,000 wine habit. Mike Tyson was unquestionably wealthy and the heavyweight boxing champion at the pinnacle of his career. Tyson, who is regarded as one of the most paid athletes of all time, earned $400 million in 20 years. However, Tyson's ostentatious spending habits dealt the fighter's money a fatal blow very swiftly. Tyson eventually incurred $23 million in debt and declared bankruptcy in 2003. Tyson said to CNN Business that his financial difficulties were caused by the company he stayed with. He said, "I can't even call them leeches. That's too decent of a word to call them." The television series Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is centered around ostentatious displays of luxury, gave Kim Zolciak-Biermann her big break. Furthermore, Zolciak-Biermann had been making enough money to rank in the top 1% of earners in the US for a time. US Weekly was able to get court paperwork that shows Zolciak-Biermann received $3 million for her work on RHOA. In addition, her spouse, NFL player Kroy Biermann, earned $14 million throughout his whole professional athletic career. Despite earning millions with her spouse, Zolciak's net worth is currently only $300,000. Before starring in the hit comedy 2.5 Men, Charlie Sheen was a well-known actor who made an amazing fortune from his TV career. Sheen was reportedly earning around $40 million for the 2010 to 2011 TV season alone, with each Men episode earning an estimated $1.2 million in 2011. At the time, Men was a ratings hit. Sheen did, however, lose his job on the show following a string of non-famous interviews. Reports of Sheen's extravagant spending coincided with his income decrease. According to a GQ feature, he allegedly spent $1 million on automobiles in a single week, in addition to tens of thousands of dollars on illicit things and trysts with certain actresses. During his boxing career, boxing legend Evander Holyfield accumulated a $200 million fortune, which is why his current net worth of $1 million is startlingly small. Despite being the first heavyweight champion in the history of the sport to win 4 times, his success on the mat did not convert to the bank. When building his enormous Georgia house, Holyfield lavished a great deal of money. He revealed to Alex Rodriguez on Back in the Game that he paid $20 million in cash. Olympic gymnast Mary Lou Retton rose to fame after winning 5 medals in the 1984 Los Angeles Games. Following her Olympic triumphs, Retton gained popularity as a spokesperson and signed several endorsement deals. Even though Retton's heyday was decades ago, her celebrity net worth estimates that she is currently worth $2 million. But having millions in your bank account doesn't guarantee that paying for medical expenses will be simple. Retton's financial difficulties were caused by a number of problems. Retton spent 2023 in the hospital due to an uncommon case of pneumonia. Retton's daughters launched an online fundraising called Spot Fund to help cover the treatment costs because they didn't want their mother to worry about their medical fees during her treatment, even though she was on the verge of her demise. The actress Drea de Matteo achieved success in a variety of film and television ventures after gaining notoriety in The Sopranos as the flamboyant mob girlfriend Adriana Lacerva. De Matteo has a $4 million net worth according to Celebrity Net Worth, which is a good sum of money, but she is open about the difficulties of being wealthy in Hollywood. She revealed to Fox News, "People find that hard to believe that I was never really paid very much money for any of the jobs I've done," De Matteo said. "People think I'm made of gold, and I'm not." Despite coming from a well-known Hollywood family, Nicolas Cage, whose real name is Nicolas Coppola, may not have seemed like a likely candidate to become a Tinseltown leading man. It was profitable for Cage to go from being an offbeat comedian of the 1980s to a main character in action-adventure films. When he was at the top of his game, he could charge $20 million for roles in films such as National Treasure from 2004. In the course of his multi-decade acting career, Cage has earned more than $150 million. Maybe for that reason, even with his enormous $25 million net worth, it doesn't seem like much. Given the severe financial difficulties Cage encountered in the past, it is remarkable that he is worth millions of dollars today. During 60 Minutes, he acknowledged that he had excessive real estate investments. He possessed homes in Germany, a 500-year-old castle no less, Newport Beach, California, and New Orleans. Around $6 million was what Cage owed to his creditors. Even though he filed a 2009 lawsuit against his former company manager for fraud and carelessness, he emerged from the hole of debt the traditional way, by going back to work. Cage made his way out of bankruptcy by acting his way to Las Vegas. For a considerable amount of time, Wesley Snipes' financial difficulties have shaped his notoriety. A multifaceted performer, he became well known in the 1990s for his role in comedies such as White Men Can't Jump and To Wong Foo, Thanks for Everything. With his captivating performance and impressive athletic skills, Snipes dominated the screen in dramas like Julie Newmar, action films like Blade, and dramas like New Jack City. Even in the early 2000s, when his career abruptly shifted to videos, Snipes was becoming wealthy. Regretfully though, Snipes quickly discovered that he was in serious difficulty with the IRS.
Celine Dion is one of the most incredible women on the planet. For 17 years, she had a devastating disease. In 2022, she was diagnosed with stiff person syndrome.
It's been very difficult, very painful.
This is so heartbreaking. Celine Dion got emotional as she revealed that she secretly battled stiff person syndrome for 17 years before revealing it to the public, admitting that lying to her fans was too much for her to bear. Celine revealed that she had been diagnosed with the rare autoimmune neurological disorder in 2022, but now she shared that she's been grappling with the horrific condition in secrecy for nearly 2 decades before she told the world about it.
I was not controlling myself anymore, and I want to be controlling.
She described keeping it from the people who got her to where she was a huge burden, explaining that it felt like she had to act like a hero while secretly feeling like her body was leaving her. She said that when she first started to realize something was wrong, she didn't take time to figure out what was going on. She recalled struggling with her husband, who also battled his own slew of health woes. He passed away from throat cancer in 2016. "We didn't know what was going on with me," she said. "I didn't take the time. I should have stopped, took the time to figure it out. And like it wasn't enough, my husband as well is fighting for his own life." After his passing, Celine said she had a hard time balancing and raising her kids and her twins, all while keeping her deteriorating health a secret from the public and balancing her career.
I did not know who I was anymore because I'm not the person that I used to be.
"I had to raise my kids. I had to hide. I had to try to be a hero while feeling my body leaving me," she continued. "I was holding on to my own dreams." But she said lying eventually became too much, adding, "Lying for me the burden was too much. Lying to the people who got me to where I am today, I could not do it anymore. Not telling the truth was too much to carry. I couldn't do this anymore." After the preview for the interview aired on today's show, Hoda reflected on her and Celine's chat to her co-host. She revealed that Celine told her she had battled the disease for 17 years. Stiff person syndrome is a degenerative condition that causes muscles to tense and spasm uncontrollably. Ultimately, it leaves sufferers resembling human statues as it progressively locks the body, leaving people unable to walk or talk. There's no cure for stiff person syndrome, but there are steps that can be taken to slow down symptoms, something Celine previously revealed she's exploring. Despite battling the disease for 17 years, Celine continued to perform up until 2022 when she shared her diagnosis with the world and canceled all upcoming shows. In another part of her NBC interview, the musician described what it's like to sing with the condition, and she said it feels like somebody is strangling her. She added that it's hard for her to control her pitch due to spasms. And it doesn't only affect her voice. The spasms can also be in the abdominal, can be in the spine, it can be in the ribs. Celine even revealed that the condition has resulted in her breaking ribs. She revealed that she's undergoing athletic, physical, and vocal therapy 5 days a week to combat the symptoms. She's also currently gearing up to release a tell-all documentary that will offer a heartbreaking glimpse into her health battle. This is titled, I Am Celine Dion. She was seen desperately trying to save her voice as she explained that she will do anything to sing again. My voice is a conductor of my life, she said. When your voice brings you joy, you're the best of yourself. She continued, it's hard to cancel a show. I'm working hard every day, but I have to admit it's been a struggle. I miss it so much. The people, I miss them.